Hello students, I welcome to all of you to this session of refrigeration and air conditioning. Dear students, we were talking about the air refrigeration system. Okay, so last class we discussed about the basic or simple air refrigeration system. Today we will be discussing about the basic or simple air refrigeration system with evaporative cooling. Before coming to this discussion, let us introduce myself. I am Dhiraj Mondal, Assistant Professor, JS College of Engineering, Mechanical Engineering Department. Okay, this is my. You can connect me in the YouTube channel DM Study Center. This is my PDA Telegram channel. Here you can get all the videos, all the PDF and all this. Okay, this is my Telegram channel, Facebook page and email ID. You can submit the assignment here, and this is my phone number. Okay, one more important things that I want to share with you, that admission is open. You can for the newcomer, for the new student, you can, this is the contact number and corresponding email address is given in case you want to get admission. So welcome to JS College of Engineering, Mechanical Engineering Department. You can take your admission right now. For more details, contact to this number. Okay, so without wasting time, let us discuss. Let us come to the topic. So we were talking about the air refrigeration system. These are the slide which we already have covered. So today we will be talking about the basic or simple air refrigeration system with evaporative cooling. You know that the evaporator is what to it is basically used for to evaporate something. That means, so if whenever some particular fluid is changing its phase from liquid to gas, then evaporator is needed. By taking latent heat, the particular fluid evaporates. Okay, now here you know, without evaporative cooling, that means here we are not using evaporator in case of simple air refrigeration system without evaporative cooling. And last class I discussed that this is your main compressor. This compressor is basically driven by gas turbine. This one is your heat exchanger. This one is your cooling turbine, exhaust fan, duct, ram air, ambient air. Okay, and this is the combustion chamber. So already I have discussed, even though I am just little bit I am discussing here, what happened in case of basic or simple air refrigeration system. So the ram air is basically coming into the ambient air is whenever it is entering into the duct, it is called your ram air. And this air is basically, some part of the air is coming to the main compressor maximum part, and some part of the air is coming throughout this way, and by the help of this exhaust fan it is coming out. Okay, so what is the function of this ram air? Basically it is cooling down the air which is coming through this channel, okay, through the duct. Now this main compressor is, some part of the main compressed air is coming to the combustion chamber used for gas turbine, and rest of the air is high pressure, high temperature air is cooling down by the help of this heat exchanger, and it is entering into the cooling turbine, where expansion is taking place, and that low temperature air is entering into the cabin where the particular passenger is sitting. Okay, so this is the phenomena. And TH diagram also discussed last class, that main compressor, this is your main compressor, these are the constant pressure line. So you can see the air is entering into the duct, and it is called your ram air. This is basically air is ramming, and here it is what happened here in 2 to 3 process, 2 to 3, what happened, the particular air is compressed by the help of compressor. Here what happened, heat exchanger is using. So here it is basically heat is released, and this is what, expansion in the cooling turbine, and this is the cabin. where the refrigeration effect is equal to mCp delta T. This is the now this 1 to process 1 to 2 is what? Ramming of the air. Here air is rammed, and we know that if c is the velocity of the aircraft velocity or velocity of air relative to the aircraft in meter per second, then we can say kinetic energy is half mv square. So m is equal to per kg, so that is why m is neglected. So c square by 2, so it is your c square by 2000 kilojoule per kg. Now enthalpy, if I am talking about the enthalpy from point 1 to 2, that means from point 1 to 2, if I am talking about the enthalpy difference, so what is the enthalpy difference? It is basically you can see here enthalpy difference H2 minus H1 is equal to C square by 2. So enthalpy difference is nothing but the kinetic energy change. Na? So Cp delta T, H2 is equal to Cp T2, H1 is equal to Cp T1. So from this diagram, from this equation, you can say that T2 by T1 is equal to 1 plus C square by 2000 into Cp by T into T1. And Cp minus Cp is equal to, also we know that R. And here Cp minus Cp is equal to R. So Cp is equal to gamma R by gamma minus 1. So T2 by T1 is equal to this equation I can write from this equation number 2. Okay, so this is your equation number 3. Now let us see T2 by T1 is this. So if I am solving out, you will be getting this equation. Now the basically the velocity A is what? Local sonic, that means A is the local sonic or acoustic velocity at the ambient air condition, and A is what? Root over gamma RT. So put all the value, just you are getting this equation. Now T2 by T1, also T2 by T1 is equal to, we can write 1 plus 1 gamma minus 1 by 2 into m square. M is the Mach number for the flight. So basically Mach number is basically inertia force to compressible force. Okay, so basically what happened, it is these are the equation which you have got from the gas turbine when that part was discussed. So I am not going into details because this is known, it should be assumed. Okay, so P2 by P1 is equal to this equation, T2 by T1 to the power gamma minus nothing, it is nothing but the isentropic process. For isentropic compression, this equation you know. Now in case of process 2 to 3, process 2 to 3 means this is your process 2 to 3. So process 2 to 3, 1 minute. So in case of process 2 to 3, what happened? It is your compression. So compression, then compression power work done is what? M mass flow rate into Cp into delta T. Mass flow rate into Cp delta T means T3 minus T2. So very simple, you can see here process 2 to 3 is your W compression is equal to M Cp delta T. Okay, where M is the mass flow rate. Now mass of the air blade from the air compressor for refrigeration process purpose. Now the 3 to 4 is what? 3 to 4 is the heat rejection in the heat exchanger. So it is what? 3 to 4 means this is your diagram. You can see here, this is a 3 to 4. Again M Cp delta T. So T3 minus T4 will be delta T. So M Cp delta T, T3 minus T4. This is the heat rejected. Okay. Next 4 to 5 is what? 4 to 5 is your expansion. So what is the work is done in the by the cooling turbine in the expansion process? mCp delta T. Delta T means your T4 minus T3, because this is your 4 and this is your 5. Now 5 to 6 means it is your cabin. This is your 6. So ultimately, in the cabin, what happened? Air is getting heated in cabin temperature, because already the passenger are releasing carbon dioxide. That is why that air is basically heated. So what is the refrigeration effect here? Refrigeration effect is equal to Q is equal to AM Cp delta T, and T6 minus T5 is the delta T. Now we have to calculate the COP. So COP is equal to refrigeration effect by work input. So MCP delta T means T6 minus T5 is the refrigeration effect, because in the Kelvin whatever the effect we are getting, and work done is equal to what? MCP delta T. So it is your T3 minus T2, because in the compressor whatever the work is done. So ultimately the equation is coming T6 minus T5 by T3 minus T2. Okay, so remember this is possible in case of reversible cycle. Okay, now if ton of refrigeration is the cooling load in the cabin, then the air required for the refrigeration purpose, how much air is required? Okay, if Q is the ton of refrigeration, 1 ton of refrigeration, 1 into 14,000 kilojoule per hour. If I am talking about 1.5, then 1.5 into 14,000 kilojoule per hour. Okay, so if Q is given in terms of ton, then Q into 14,000, that is why you will get the refrigeration effect. Okay, 14,000 kilojoule per hour, or 3.5 kilowatt, or 210 kilojoule per minute, like this. Okay, so here basically we are taking in terms of kg per hour, so it is your 14,000 into Q, that is your kilojoule per hour. Now Cp delta T, you know that Q is the refrigeration effect. So refrigeration effect is equal to what? Q is equal to mCp delta T, mCp delta T, and delta T means it is T5 by T6 minus T5, because in the cabin, this is your cabin, na. So in the cabin whatever the effect we are getting, that is the temperature difference, na. Now mCp delta T here basically mass flow rate is equal to 14,000 Q by Cp into T6 minus T5. Very important formula for your numerical, for solving the numerical. Now power, how we can calculate power? We know that power is equal to W compressor work. So mCp delta T means here T3 minus T2. Why T3 minus T2? Because you can see T3 minus T2 in this portion the compressor is working. So T3 minus T2. Clear? So it is your T3 minus T2 by 3600. Why? Because it is your, in terms of kilowatt you have to take this power. So okay, so power required for the refrigeration system is your mCp delta T by 3600. Again you have to calculate the COP. What is the COP? Refrigeration effect means 14,000 into Q is the refrigeration effect. What is the work input? Mass flow rate into Cp into T3 minus T2, that means work required in the compressor. So 14,000 by P into 3600, because P is equal to what? This is your P. So that is why we can write 3600 into P is equal to mCp delta T. Instead of mCp delta T we can write, instead of mCp delta T, what we can write? P into 3600. So this is the COP. Clear? Now if it is clear, then come to the next topic, next point, that is your without evaporative cooling. So in case of with evaporative cooling. So with evaporative cooling it is very simple, and it will take maximum 5 minutes, because you know without and with, just one difference, there should be one evaporator, that's all. So all the processes are same as the basic or simple air refrigeration system with evaporative cooling, without evaporative cooling. So here basically one evaporator is taken into consideration, and whenever the particular air is coming out from the heat exchanger, that air is taken to the evaporator where it is full of water, you can see, or any kind of liquid. So or it may be alcohol. Okay, so it is full of liquid. Now when it is passing through this way, you will see because of the evaporation process, some latent heat will be taken from the your temperature, from the high temperature air, and then it is entering into the cooling turbine, where from this cooling turbine expansion is taking place and it is coming to the cabin where passenger is seated, and this cooling turbine is operating this exhaust fan, which is basically uh, the whatever the air roaming air is entering into the heat exchanger, that by the help of this exhaust fan, that particular air is throwing out from the system. Clear? So ultimately what we are using? Evaporator. Why we are using evaporator? Because of this evaporation, when it is coming into the contact, high temperature air is coming into contact with this, uh, maybe it may be liquid, some alcohol or anything else. So what happened? The heat exchanger will be exchanged. That means, you know that there are a lot of type: parallel flow heat exchanger, counter flow heat exchanger. So what happened? The heat will be taken. Which type of heat? Basically, we by the help of conduction and convection, so heat will be taking out from the air, and what happened? The particular air will be cooling down. Okay, and through this way the heat is released. Okay, so one evaporator is used, basically nothing to discuss here, same process, but just one evaporator is used. So in case if you are using one extra evaporator, so what will happen? You can see in the TS diagram. In the TS diagram, what you can see here, this is your TS diagram. Now the 1 to 2 is clear. It is same as the without evaporative cooling. So 1 to 2 is your ramming. This process is called ramming. Then 2 to 3 is your, this process is called compression, isentropic compression. In the main compressor is used here. 3 to 4, in case of old one or without evaporative cooling, 3 to 4 without evaporative cooling, but 3 to 4 dash with evaporative cooling, isn't it? So here you can see 3 to 4 is your without evaporative cooling, and 3 to 4 dash with evaporative cooling. So 3 to 4 is your heat exchanger, na? 3 to 4 is your heat exchanger. But if you are using extra evaporator, so 3 to 4 dash will be the total heat will be extracted from the system. Am I right? Because as we have used one evaporator, so we will be, you can that means some heat, extra amount of heat will be released. So that is why this equation is this 4 dash, it will come up to this 4 dash. So you will see the temperature is minimizing again. Now it is your cooling turbine, same as the previous one. Now from 5 dash it is entering into the 5 dash, not 5. So 5 to 6, 5 dash to 6, it is the effect. Now you can see the temperature difference is more than the first one. The first one is your without evaporative cooling. So that is why we can say the refrigeration effect will be more, because the temperature is minimized here. So you can easily say this difference will be less than this difference. So that is why the refrigeration effect will be more. So in case if we want to find out the mass flow rate, it is basically instead of T5 you have to write T5 dot, nothing else. Okay, so instead of T5 MCP delta T, na, mass flow rate, mass flow rate is equal to what? Q is equal to MCP delta T. So mass flow rate is equal to is Q by Cp delta T. So instead of P5 T5 you have to write P5 T5 dot. So that is why we have written here 14,000 Q, that is the refrigeration effect, by Cp into T6 minus T5 dot. So that is in terms of kg per hour, isn't it? Now power required will be same, because here in this diagram nothing will change. In this diagram nothing will change, na? So power required is basically mass flow rate into Cp into T3 minus T2 by 3600 in kilowatt. COP you can see 14,000 Q by MCP, 14,000 Q by MCP delta T, and this is your all about the COP 14,000 Q bar P into 3600. So this is all about the without evaporative cooling. With evaporative cooling. So ultimately the difference you can see what is the difference. Now let us solve a numerical based on the simple air refrigerant system. So here it is very important numerical. You can see, first of all go through the problem, then try to solve yourself. Pause the video, then try to solve yourself, then see the solution. A simple air cooled system is used for an aeroplane having a load of 9 tons. So Q is given 9 ton. That means 9 into 14,000. Okay, kilojoule per hour. So the capacity is given having a load of 9 ton. The atmospheric pressure and temperature are 9.9 bar. So atmospheric pressure line, first of all draw the atmospheric pressure line, then your cabin pressure line, then your ram pressure line, then your main compressor pressure line. Now 1 to 2 is your ramming, 2 to 3 is your compression, 3 to 4 your heat exchanger in the heat releasing process, 4 to 5 is your expansion, isentropic expansion, and 4 to 5 is your. So you can see 1 2 3 4 5. This is what? This is the cabin pressure, atmospheric pressure. This one is your cabin pressure, this one is your ram air, and this is your main compressor. Okay, so this is how you can draw the TS diagram of the particular numerical. Okay, so 1 to 2 is your cabin, your ramming, 2 to 3 is your compression, 3 to 4 is your heat releasing process in heat exchanger, 4 to isentropic expansion, then 5 to 6 something like this. Okay, now what happened? The atmospheric pressure and temperature are 0.9 bar. So this one is your 0.9 bar, atmospheric pressure 0.9 bar, and temperature also given corresponding to this 0.9 bar. The temperature is given 10 degree centigrade. That means T1 is given 283. Okay, T1 is given 283 and pressure is given 0.9 bar. Next, during ramming pressure increases to 1.013 bar. So ramming pressure is given 1.013 bar. In the heat exchanger, and atmospheric pressure you know that 1.01 bar. In the heat exchanger it is basically also it will be given no, I'm sorry, it is your cabin pressure 1.01 bar. Atmospheric pressure is given. What happened? During ramming pressure it is increases to 1.013 bar. In the heat exchanger the temperature of the air is reduced by 55 degrees. Very important. The temperature is reduced, that means T3 minus T4 is equal to 55 degree plus 273 whatever. So remember, this difference of temperature in the heat exchanger is given. Okay, very important. So I hope it is clear. Now temperature, this temperature difference is given. Now you see 55 degree. Now pressure in the cabin pressure is given 1.01 bar, and the temperature of air leaving the cabin is 25 degree centigrade. So temperature of air leaving 25 degree centigrade means your 298. So actually T6 is given T6 is given 298 Kelvin. Clear? Determine the power required to take the load of the cooling in the cabin, COP of the system. Assume that all the expansion and compression in isentropic. The pressure in the compressed air is 4 bar. This pressure is given 4 bar. So I hope the problem is clear. That means what you need to find out, that is clear. If it is not clear, then we can't solve. So first of all, let us see what are the given data. So the procedure to solve a numerical, first of all see the what are the given data. So given data is your Q is given 9 into 14,000, 9 ton into 14,000 kilojoule per hour. P1 is given 0.9 bar. P2 is given 1.013 bar. Anything else? Yes. P3 is equal to P4 and it is given 4 bar. P5 is equal to P6 and it is given 1.01 bar. So from this equation, see what is given. This is your constant pressure line, this is your constant pressure line. All this is your constant pressure line. So that is why P1 is equal to 0.9, P2 is equal to 1.013 bar, P3 is equal to P3 and P4 is same, as it is lying in the same pressure line. P3 and P4 will be same. So it is equal to what? It is equal to 4 bar, and P5 and P6 will be same because in the same pressure line it is placed. Now you see, first of all you need to find out the temperature of every section, because power required. You need to find out first of all what power required. So power required means M mass flow rate into Cp into T3 minus T2 by 3600. Another one, COP you need to find out. COP is equal to what? 14,000 Q by P into 3600. This formula, can you remember this formula? So these are the formula. Now to find out the power, you need to find out T3 and T2. Clear? And to find out the COP, you need to find out only A. Q is given only P. So if you are able to find out the power required to drive the system, so that all the value, that means whatever is asking, that you can easily find out. So back calculation is needed. That means what you need to, where you need to go, that is very important. So basically here you can see the AMCP delta T. Mass flow rate also, it is, you have to find out the mass flow rate. Cp is equal to 1. T3 you need to find out, T2 you need to find out, so that all the value. So only the unknown is your T3, T2 mass flow rate. And to find out the mass flow rate, we know that formula of mass flow rate is equal to what? 14,000 into Q by Cp into T6 minus T5. So to find out the mass flow rate, you need to find out T6 also. T6 is given, I think. T6 is given. You need to find out T5. So all the T5, T3, T2, all the values you need to find out. Okay. So first of all, see. So this is your TS diagram. Now these are the value. Now only the, you can see this, if you are putting the your equation, your which equation, isentropic process, equation of isentropic, P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. So T2 by T1 is equal to P2 by P1 to the power gamma minus 1 by gamma. So from this value you know that T2 you can find out, because T1 is also already given. T1 is already given, you can easily find out T2. So T2 now it is known. Now T3 by T2 is equal to what? P3 by P2 to the power gamma minus 1 by gamma. So from this equation only T3 is unknown. T2 already I have got from this equation. So 160 degree centigrade is the That means 433 Kelvin is equal to 160 degree centigrade is the T3. Now one more thing you need to you know that already in the question it is given, 55 degree centigrade. This difference is your 55 degree centigrade. Now T3 is equal to, already I have got 155, 160, sorry, 160 na. T3 is equal to 160. Now T3 minus T4 is equal to 55 degree centigrade. So T4 is equal to what? T4 is equal to 160 minus 55 plus 273 Kelvin. So that is written here, you can see T4 is equal to 160 minus 55 plus 273. So 378 Kelvin is the T4. Now you need to find out T5. T5 by T4 is equal to same for isentropic process. Okay, T5 by, if it is your 5 and it is your 4. So T5 by T4 is equal to P5 by P4 to the power gamma minus 1 by gamma. All the values are known. Only T5 you need to find out. So 255 Kelvin is the T5. Now find out mass flow rate. Mass flow rate is equal to 14,000 Q by Cp T6 minus T5. So 9 is the Q and T6 also I have got. T6 is given. T5 I have got. So 29730.2 kilojoule per kg. A kilojoule per hour is the mass flow rate. Now power required mCp delta T by 3600. This is the mass flow rate. So ultimately 114.28 kilowatt is the power required. COP, how we can find out? Just put the in the formula, put the value 114,000 Q by P into 3600. So ultimately 0.306. So you can see very less efficiency compared to the VCRS or VARS, vapor absorption reference system or vapor compression reference system. Compared to that, this efficiency is very less, 0.306, very less efficiency we have obtained. Okay, even though it is used because we need a very light aircraft system. Okay, because when it is flying, then the weight should be as low as possible, and the weight should be minimized, and this is basically used for aircraft refrigeration system, air refrigeration system, basic air refrigeration system with or without evaporative cooling. Already I have discussed and numerical also solved. I hope it is clear. Next class we will be talking about the bootstrap air refrigeration system. Very important for your exam point of view, because if I am an exam setter or your question setter, then I will be giving this question. Bootstrap air refrigeration system. Here two air refrigeration system will be seen, that without evaporative cooling and with evaporative cooling. So in the upcoming class we will be discussing it. So I hope it is clear. Now in case if you want to connect me, you can connect here. This is my you can connect this is my YouTube channel, DM Study Center. Subscribe the channel and press the bell icon for everyday notification. For notes, PDF, for any PDF and notes of this lecture, you can connect me this Telegram channel, DM Study Center official channel, and this is the link. GK by Dheeraj sir, there is a group initiated by me. Here you will see lot of newspaper and related educational PDF notes and all this. This is my Facebook page, and in the Facebook page there is a group or group DM Study Center. Join that group. Email ID, because in that group you will find some daily newspaper and some quiz contest like in aptitude, reasoning and all this. Okay, this is my email ID. Whatever I have discussed, that is your assignment. Solve it in your write down in all the thing what I have discussed, then then send it to my official email ID. Okay, so and this is my phone number. In case you can connect me, you can connect me in this phone number, and for admission purpose also you can connect me. I am talking about for the newcomer, new student. If you want to get admission, this is the this is the phone number, you can connect here. This is the group of the admission for the GIS group. Okay, GIS college. Okay, that admission your email ID, and this is the website of the college, you can visit here. So welcome to the mechanical engineering department, always welcome. And you know that NBA in mechanical engineering department it has got NBA tier 1 accreditation from 2019 to 2020 to 21 and 22 to 23. Okay, for 3 years. Okay, so this is all about the lecture. I hope you have got sufficient idea about this air refrigeration system. Next class we will be discussing about the bootstrap air refrigeration system. Today up to this, thank you for listening. Jai Hind.